Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm getting ready to disassemble this motor, and this is the F23 A4 block from the previous vlog. The disassembly procedure is important as reassembly, because from here you will find out if you have a good block or not, if you need to send your block to the machine shop to get it done, especially the bore diameter. If you don't want your block to be re-sleeved, it's better to check it to make sure that you're still within limits. Depending on what piston or size of piston that you are going to use, then you can do your reassessment from here. Like this one here, I'm keeping it 86 millimeter, and I got my piston here. Like I have said, I want something to be doable. I want you guys to relate. I did some inspection on this piston, and as far as the groove, the ring lands, they're still okay. But I'll make sure to do a quick real check before I install this one. I've had this for a long time. Well, most of us we are reusing K20 A2 pistons. If money is no object for you, then you can go ahead and get those NPR pistons, and they do have a variety of compression ratio. Yeah, there's three pistons that they sell: the regular ones, which is something like this, and one is the ITR, and the other one is the Civic. Yeah, there are three different compression ratio, which is the one that you probably seen it, the one that I shaved the piston top. Minimal tools requirement. I've got a few tools here that I can use to check. I'm not gonna go really deep on using all these tools and everything, but there's only a few items that I would like to address, especially the piston to wall clearance. Those has to be within manufacturer specification, especially if you are using a forged piston like Wiseco or CP pistons, Mali, or all those aftermarket pistons. It's because of you need to have a good piston to wall clearances, what they recommended, because the material of their product expand differently. Yeah, that way it prevent locking up into the cylinder. Before you remove this piston off from the cylinder, make sure, do you see the those little dirt? This is not bad, but make sure that you use your Scotch-Brite and remove that dirt first. The reason being is, if you are thinking about reusing your piston, because if you don't remove that dirt, and once you start pressing or pushing that piston out, there's a tendency that it's gonna get caught up in between the piston rings, and sometimes it'll break the groove land. It's very critical that you must at least clean those dirt out of there. Mostly all of these things that I'm telling you is for the new beginners that haven't really tear one of these, so you can use this as a guide. But it helps if you have, well, this is not for that particular block, but as far as the instructions and all that, they're similarity. Maybe the numbers, a few thousands increments are different, but as far as the procedures and everything, they're all the same. Again, there's no mechanic that does the same thing. We are all different when it comes down to either tear down or reassembly. So your procedure and techniques might be different than mine, Okay, so now that it's cleaned up, I'm gonna do a real quick check on the bore. And 86 millimeter in inches is 3.385. If it's your first time doing this, it's better to have a minimal tools. At least get yourself, it doesn't have to be real fancy, like this one here, dial caliper and a T-bore gauge. And this one here, you don't really need to have this, but this is to check the bore. See right there, it's 0. Then if I bring that piston down, so I'm gonna go down farther, and that's my difference right there. So I'm getting, one line is 5/10, so 1,000 difference. We're allowed to have a bore taper differences of 2,000. So far so good on this one. This is just a quick check. So that's 0 right there. Make sure you're all square. There, 85, 3.385. Next. .385. So crisscross. If it's your first time doing this, it's gonna take you multiple times of doing it, but you'll get the hang of it. 85. Right there. So that's 84. So you have to take 3 places, one here on top and one in the middle, and once that piston is removed, then you're gonna check the bottom. My experience, I don't really bother much at the bottom. The middle I do. Yeah. Because the middle, that's when the piston goes up, that's when the load is really scraping on those cylinder walls. So crisscross. So you will have to take 6 places on one cylinder bore, and you write it down and you just do the difference. F23 doesn't use a oil pan gasket. But you can use one if you like, if you wish. Especially if you don't have a hard time removing it. Because sometimes you can bend it. If you do bend it, make sure that you just fix it, straighten it out as much as you can, then put it back in. Eventually it'll come out. Yeah, just make sure you don't use your screwdriver to pry it right away. Use one of these. You gotta cut through that seal. I always try not to use my impact runner, because this block is so old that I don't want to repair the thread. So it's a good idea to break it first. Make sure to check the filter. Make sure to check all the debris and remove it before you reassemble everything. I really like this F23 block. It's because of it almost like a K series. Actually, the K series is not going to be in existence without this. And this is how beefy this girdle is. You know, it's secured right at the block. Unlike the H22, it's almost like it's a floating. Yeah, this one is bolted down and also onto the block. Always check your maintenance manual or your service manual on how to do this, but rule of thumb is from outside going in a crisscross pattern. So once it's loose, you can start anywhere you want. Don't matter anymore. Whew, man, that smell. Hot dang. Okay. Let's see if I could at least pry this just slowly. Okay. Careful. What I tell you about the Hondas, man. Let me wipe up my gloves. Look at that bearings, man. This thing, 300,000 or less than 300,000 miles. Look at that. There's a stress point right there, but man, I can actually reuse that bearing if I wanted to. All I have to do is make sure I put it back at the same location. And look at the crankshaft, man. Hardly any scratches on there. See that? That's how good Honda motor, man. Keep changing oil, it'll last. Wow. Okay, from here, before I remove or push that piston down, I'm going to reuse that rod. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark them, and I'm gonna put those connecting rods exactly where I got it from per cylinder. Don't make a mistake of those numbers. That number is for something else. One mark there, one mark at the bottom. It'll be number 2 and number 2 on this side. I'm gonna put 3 marks there and 3 marks here. You don't have to do exactly how I do it, as long as you put some markings on there. If you can remember, once you put this thing back, like I said, I only put markings on both sides. That way I will know exactly where the top retainer goes. So if I see there's marking there, align to that marks, I'm good to go. And that's it. And it's time to remove the piston. So once it's loose, just give it a lobby tapping. There. It's amazing, man. This bearing is still, man, hardly have any wear on it. Look at that. The center, not bad. But since I'm putting it all together, I'm gonna put the new bearings on there. Yeah, it looks like it's time. See what I mean? I got that dot. Just aligned it together and put it back how I got it. It's still not bad. This is for number 4. See? Makes it a lot easier. Okay. Next is the oil pump. I got all this bolt loosened up earlier, so all I need is just is my runner. My coworker told me that he just had this thing put on, and I'm gonna reuse this. This one has a dowel that it needs to be aligned in order for you to take it off. Let me see if I can see it. There you go. And this thing comes off. There you go. That's for the oil pump. Okay, I'm gonna check the crankshaft for straightness, and I'm going to remove the 3 bearings. I'm gonna keep the 2 on the outside. Oh, don't forget the truss bearings. This can be reused. It's amazing that this bearing, it's like it's hardly been touched. It's okay. I'm gonna replace that. I have sent a few of these, like 3 of these crankshaft in a machine shop to get it balanced. And what my machine shop guy told me on Hondas, I mean, it's just perfectly right on. There's no reason for you to be sending your crankshaft to a machine shop, on my experience. So it's up to you if you want to send yours for safety measures. Well, the reason why I have sent my crankshaft to a machine shop, H23A1 and 2 of these F23, it's because of under my R&D, when I was using the old squirters, I have to ground some of this area, the counterbalance right here. That way it prevents me to bend the nozzle so much. And again, I ground the pistons so it won't chop it off. That's the reason why I send it to a balance shop, because of that. Yeah, and yeah, he told me there's no reason to. On an 8-cylinder and 6-cylinder, yes, you do, but not on a 4-cylinder. Again, that's all up to you. So I never send my my crankshaft to a machine shop, not unless I didn't know anything about it. Set this to 0. Okay, right there. Turn it. Look at that. Man, it's perfect. Not bad, huh? Yeah, man, that is pretty good. All right, I'm just gonna do a real quick check on the crankshaft, the diameter, journal, that is. So make sure to clean those journals and do some inspection. And always clean those holes, because sometimes they hold some dirt, and when you put your new bearings, and once that fresh oil gets in there, then you ended up having some dirt on your bearings and it starts scoring the shaft. Make sure it's 0. And you'll be taking a measurement like so. That's 65 right there. 60, yeah, 60, yeah, 65, past 65. Same thing, 65. And the rod journal is the same thing. 2 places. That's 71. And that is 71 also. Yeah, 70. Yep. So if you're taking all your measurement, make sure to follow your service manual instructions on how to do it. But this one, I gave it a quick one, and this crankshaft is good. G23 is known for a rod bearing spinning. So it's best to check, make sure that your big rod end and the small end, as far as like the size, are within limits by using well, you need to use a T gauge again. Just put it like so. It's almost the same as getting a measurement on the cylinder bore, and just measure it like so. I'm getting 1.989. and 90-degree after that. Yeah, same thing. So everything has to be done. For the small end, same idea. So what are you checking here is make sure that this is not egg shape. If it's within limits, then you're okay. But make sure that this is good on a G23. Yeah, that's what you're after, is make sure you are good to begin with. And those has to be torque. Always follow your service manual instructions on how to check. We're allowed up to 4,000. And if 4,000 doesn't go in, then I'm good. Okay. It's good. Good. I'm good. This is not gonna go in. What? Look at this. Is this a K24? Why it won't go in? Oh no. Don't tell me I have a oversize here. Oh no. How'd you like that? I got an oversized piston. Yeah, this is not OE. It's aftermarket. Oh man, look at that. I thought I can show you real quick on how I do my piston 12 clearance, but apparently what I have here is 50,000 bigger. I have said it earlier, I don't know what the definition of a budget build on this one, but it looks like I'm not saving money. But in a way, maybe it's telling me something that I need to get a new one. That way I don't have to worry about the groove, the ring land. You know, it might be, who knows? Because I don't know how many miles this piston has been through. And K20 piston, you know, they run the piss out of this thing. So yeah, that'll be a good idea just to get a new one. Maybe I'll get an NPR piston. Oh man, there's always something new. So I think I pretty much like covered just about everything that I can think of. I have shown you guys all the key points to keep the G23 alive. Make sure the crankshaft rod journals are within specs, and take a note that always follow your service manual instructions. Please do get on Honda Accord. Okay, not like me. Don't do like what I do here. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys back. Bye everyone. All right, take care, like and subscribe. Man, not bad, not bad. Okay, some tunnel vision here.